Hey, so who are you, sir?
Djloot. I am a producer, engineer, staying in Oakland right now. I spent the last 10 years doing production out of the Sacramento area. Sacramento, I'm a big advocate for, of course. Continue to work with artists out there. Now that I live in the Bay Area, I'm taking on new clients and finding new people to network with out here. Always enjoyed coming to the Bay. Figured why not make a move out here and spend the next part of my life out here.
Who have you worked with so far in the Bay Area?
Bay Area, previously I worked with a lot of Bay artists, Boss Hogg, San Quinn, Selly Cell. Just did a track with Mr. Fab for his next project. King Seidel. Let's see, there's a gal by the name of French Vanilla out here. Networked with a few other artists that I haven't worked with yet, but I want to, including there's a female MC and singer out here, Nia Rose. Quite a few artists. I've been around Beta Weeda and Stevie Joe, networked with them a little bit since I got here through some of my other clients that did features with them. So been kind of chatting with them about maybe getting some things done, Young Gully. So I'm kind of working my way into the whole East Bay circle of artists right now.
I noticed you got guitars and you know, I'm not good at naming names. Saxophone? Is that a saxophone?
Yep.
Okay.
Sax, trumpet, trombone.
So you can actually play those instruments yourself, or?
Yeah, sax is my main instrument. That specific one, that's kind of a piece of junk, so I need to get a much better, need to spend a few dollars. But yeah, I played sax since 6th grade, so decades.
Oh, wow.
Trumpet I played a long time ago, just picked that up, trying to get back to it. Guitars, pretty much anything in here I've contributed to. I mainly do hip-hop, pop, R&B, so beats, I've added sounds from all these different instruments at one point or another. Even the drum set there, the electronic drums, added a few things.
So your name's Djloot, but you're not just a DJ. You're much more.
Actually, DJing is the only thing I don't do anymore. I did it a long time ago. The name has kind of been there. So, but all aspects of production, recording, mixing, mastering, beats. I even sing hooks. So, yeah, I work in Pro Tools, Reason for making beats, a few other programs. But I have a quaint home setup that I'm doing most of my work at. I also utilize some studios for certain artists that want to use a bigger space or do whatever. But I get phenomenal results out of a small home setup. It's doable, very doable. And I'm working on getting a studio going in San Francisco. That should be within 3 to 6 months. Just getting all the details worked out. So you know, notice you got the lava lamp, you know, kind of give you a peace of mind, huh? Yeah, just got the curtains blacked out, just different vibe, black light, a few things. Try to keep it a little bit, I have those on for your camera purpose, but yeah, try to keep a kind of a different vibe.
So I mean, how do you feel about this music? Like, is this like what you're driven to do, or?
Yes, I've been at it for about 18 years.
Oh wow!
Coming on 20 overall, but really recording and mixing other artists, and especially that with the beats, I'd say I do about 50% of each mixing. And the recording sessions and beats, it's kind of an even mix.
Did you teach yourself this, or did you go to school, or?
Somewhat. I always knew how to play music, and then I went to CSU Chico, got my recording arts degree. That gave me a lot of technical knowledge, more of the music theory, but a lot of things that didn't teach me how to produce current sounding hip hop or R&B or whatever. that comes with listening to current trends and listening to what the artists that come in, what they ask for. They want to do a certain song like this certain song. So we'll go to YouTube. I'll kind of see what techniques they're using, what types of effects, and I can pretty much emulate whatever.
Oh, so you pretty much teach yourself how to do the different genres.
Somewhat.
So if I was an EDM artist, and you would pretty much go to YouTube and hear what EDM sounds like, and be able to mimic whatever you hear.
That's actually something interesting. You bring it up. I've been producing some EDM, some dance tracks. Honestly, I put them more in the dance pop realm with a couple of EDM elements, but definitely hard driving, up tempo dance music. With one of my main artists goes by the name Siren, with a Y that's flipped around backwards. Siren, SYREN. Look her up.
Okay.
But yeah, EDM. That I basically just went on and listened to some current tracks, and same thing with any music. There are trends, and if I need to fulfill a client's vision and they're trying to emulate something, then I certainly need to know what these producers or engineers are doing to make that sound. So, and I'm typically very good at figuring out how they did it or putting my own twist on it.
So would you advise a young person, maybe fresh out of high school, would it be beneficial for them to go to college and go to school for this, or would you tell them to get involved first, and so he can be specific in what actual part of the education he needs?
I started tinkering first.
Okay.
I also picked up bad habits by doing it. So bad habits can be fixed. Unless that bad habit is something you don't want to change or fix because that's your way and that's how it's going to be. Some bad habits are bad to the point where it makes the recorded and mixed project or product not good. So I'm not against tinkering on your own and kind of self-teaching, but the schooling's there for a reason. You have people that know what they're doing, that are accredited, that are verified, that they know what they're doing especially with the engineering. School is not going to show you how to make a beat. You're going to learn theory and how to utilize the MIDI controller with certain programs, whatever. But the music is within, so music is art. So you can't really learn the art. It has to kind of be in you. Although, if you're not musically inclined, I think that can develop, but a good mixture of both. Learn on your own, tinker, look at YouTube tutorials, which I didn't have when I was starting out, because I'm a little older now, but the schooling, you're going to learn some of the things that will solve problems. That's one of the main things. First thing we learned in the classes was signal flow. What's that? Well, from the microphone through everything you do to the speakers, what's happening in between. So, and I'm fortunate that I was able to take classes and learn some of those things. So when a problem arises, I know why. How do I remedy that problem? Or what are some techniques that I learned in school that I can do to make my job easier in some ways?
Yeah, so now I really want to ask you, I'm kind of learning myself about this music, and I was wondering what type of advice would you give somebody on a good mix, or to keep the music sounding sonically friendly.
Well, it's depending on the genre, of course. Certain things apply more to certain genres, but
based on hip hop, like in the West Coast, a lot of us like to have a lot of bassy music with the cowbells, etc., etc. I mean, but sometimes it actually peaks in the red, and I'm wondering how do you actually clean that up? Is that really easy to clean up, and you can tweak it in the mastering process, or is everything done in the mix?
Getting back to the signal flow I mentioned, everything you do is after another process. So you do one thing and another and 15 different things, then you have an end result. So if your mic gain is turned too high and your vocals distort, that's the first part of the entire process. So you always want to eliminate things with each part of the process. So if you have distorted vocals because your mic was too high, you can do some things, but you've kind of screwed it up from the beginning. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the things like, is the mic gain good? You want your mic gain where you have there's nothing or the full waveform. You want to keep everything around 50 to 60 or even 70% full volume when you look at your vocal tracks in Pro Tools or whatever you're using. So I tend to keep them about like that. Some people record it to where it's just maxed out, where you're sort of flashing the red a little bit. You don't want to record full, because somewhere down the line something's going to end up distorting or just too much gain. Same thing with beats, just everything should be in moderation. You don't want all your faders all at 0 unity gain. That's what that's called. You generally want to mix just somewhere a little bit below that. You want some headroom. You want some room above where all the audio is for the mastering engineer to work with it. If everything is max volume, everything is all squashed and square looking, that's going to be tougher to remedy issues with. So,
are you familiar with Ozone?
Ozone, I think.
With some mastering software?
Yes, and it has some cleanup tools, correct?
Yes.
Noise reduction and things to eliminate clicks, pops. There are ways to clean up things that have issues. Sometimes there will be a click or a glitch or something. You can take the pencil in the options and just kind of like draw that little portion flatter or whatever. Again, it's always best to make sure you capture clean, clear audio. Then you don't have to worry about it. Well, yeah, you don't want to have all your vocals way high over the beat. When you go to master, I've done this. People have sent me a song to master. The middle verse is twice as loud. You can see it. Here's the song. And when you get to the middle verse, it's like that big. So not much you can do with that. You can kind of EQ a little bit but there's no way you're going to lower that in an already mixed song. So really just being attentive to what you're doing from each one step to the next. You just
so when is the time to get your paperwork correct? In the middle of making the song, or after you're done with the whole entire project? You know, exactly when would you decide that you need to make sure you get this paperwork taken care of?
Well, whenever a song is done, you should copyright it. Technically, and this is where I'm not an expert on the business end, but to copyright a song is to register it with the Library of Congress, copyright.gov. So when you do that, that's the highest authority in all of who says this person has the rights to this music, the right to distribute copies or sell copies. That's what copyright means. It's not copy W-R-I-T like you're writing something. I see people spell that wrong all the time. It's copy R-I-G-H-T. You own the rights, or you, and if somebody else owns the copyright as well, it's yours. You're the one that can make money off it. So that is very important. But I have heard that one of my instructors at college that was more on the business end said when the song is done, technically it's copyrighted because you have the original files, but I don't know how that would work. I always just register important content. I don't copyright every single thing, but things that I know I don't want anyone stealing, that has it covered. Someone else runs with it and, hey, I own copyright, go to court, get whatever damages, whatever they made from it. So it's vital. People steal stuff all the time. And then along with that is, okay, people sampling to make beats. That technically it's stealing material, but it's part of the genre. It's part of hip hop itself. So
just to name a few artists that you've worked with that we know as far as Sacramento.
Sacramento, let's see, a lot of the artists on Brother Lynch's label, Made Sick, including Kelly Bear Gang, Devious, Holotip. I've mixed his last 12, 14, maybe even 15 albums. Most of them are on the wall. Let's see, the Gatlin, he's making a lot of noise out of Sac right now. Charlie Muscle. Let's see, Flossalini. I mentioned Kelly Bear Gang. A lot of up and coming artists too. Diz, Riot Craig. Just you go in the folder. A lot of Thiz Latin artists out of that area. Don Chongalini, Young Mountain. Let's see, Choppa. In fact, I did a whole song with all the members of Triple Beam. They were with Black Market years ago. Choppa's still active. They all kind of are, but as a group, Triple Beam, for one of my compilations, they did a song, the first song all three of them did together in years at that point. Let's see. Foothill Fam. Good Old Boys. That's another group to look for. They do country rap. I have a wide variety of stuff. Early on, a lot of it was like Sacramento style gangster rap. But then now I've been working with a lot of conscious rappers. Good Old Boys and a couple others that do country rap. Folks doing like kind of real eclectic dance style rap, like EDM mixture hip hop. Grown Ass Gangstas. Hennessy, Dirk Dig out of Sacramento. They're making some noise out there. JDK, the underboss. He has the Sac Report magazine publication. One of these types right here. This style of magazine based out of Sacramento. So I have a page in every issue of that. I'm sort of part of the street team. Not sort of, I am. I mainly do some online sharing and occasional little graphic edits for him. A lot of artists.
So you got a great big bio, huh?
Definitely. Recently Marvelous hit me up. And Marvelous's daughter is doing music now, so I mixed a single of hers.
Okay.
Recently, and I've done a few other mixes for some of her artists, so that's definitely a good look. Reese Loke, another artist, so he's not Sacramento, but Reese Loke is a rapper from Fresno, but he's staying up in the Bay right now. And I've mixed 16 of his albums.
I pretty much want to before I wrap this up, I pretty much want to ask you one more thing. If there was a chance right now where you was able to give back to your any community, whether it was Sacramento, whether it was the Bay Area, if you was able to give back to the community and make a positive change, to maybe stop the violence or maybe just fight against bad music. I don't know. Like, what type of change would you make, and maybe what location or region would you like to help in the most?
Well, you touched on the music. I've been working with a lot more artists doing positive stuff. Nothing wrong with a club song or party songs. That's fine. Nothing wrong with explicit songs. But I see a lot of folks getting back to. I don't personally like the mumble rap stuff. Some of the just weird stuff going on in the music, but hey, it's art. You do whatever. But I gravitate more toward conscious quality. All of, like Mr. Fab lately, all the stuff he's doing. Charlie Muscle. A lot of artists. Young Gully has done a lot of stuff on a conscious level. My folks up in the Grass Valley area, Galactic Vibes, Connected. They're all folks that are doing content over, or quality over content, or quality over quantity. That's the term I was looking for. There's too much quantity out there. So, and I'm really big on my compilations. That's one way that I put music out and try to show off artists that I work with, as well as my beats and mixing. But I've been putting more of the conscious artists on the compilations. And there's some parties and shit and just whatever on them as well. But and the songs sound great, but I want to just keep kind of transitioning more to quality, to positivity. Not enough of it right now.
I understand. Are you putting your music on SoundCloud or?
No SoundCloud. I put everything. If it's something that I'm attached to, meaning I made the beat, my compilations, I have to make all the beats, so it's original content. I put it all out through digital distribution, Amazon, iTunes, Rhapsody, Spotify, anywhere you can purchase or stream music. So it's generating revenue for me to be able to, well, pay the bills, yes, but also continue to grow my business and be able to continue to do the music and push the projects, and then get new artists I haven't worked with, and hey, let's collab on one track per artist per project, but let's do a song. Let's make it something positive, do some good, useful music.
Well, speaking of paying the bills, how do these people contact you so they can patronize your business?
Just a moment. The main thing, let me bring it up here. My website, if you want to get a quick capture. So, Djloot.Biz. So as you can see here, I have all the things up here. Click on beats to jump out to beats. First and foremost, that will take you to my list of available beats on my publisher's site. There's music players, stuff coming soon. I-80 Roll Call, that was a big compilation I put out early this year. So there's a lot of good content there. My booking and pricing are on the website. So Djloot.Biz is where you can find all the info, all there. So just a couple of clicks away from whatever you need to know. So phone number is 530-520-0956.
What's your basic rate for pre-production recording?
Recording, mixing, everything that's done in session, $40 an hour. I also have block rates for longer, bigger chunks of time. So same thing with beats. I have, like, if you get X number of beats, I'll throw in some free, or just, I have deals for more stuff that we get done. But,
so are they exclusive, or are they leased?
I don't lease beats.
Okay.
I feel, because, okay, there's the business side. I have to focus on the business side first, because this is my career. But I also don't want to cheapen the music. I feel a beat should be for one artist, one song. That's what that beat went for. Instead of hearing 200 different songs, oh, that's the same beat, and this guy ruined it, and then these three guys, they all did phenomenal shit to it. So one beat, one song.
Alright, so I appreciate that. I thank you for your time, and just so they know, because the camera got you looking a little orange. It's the light right there, y'all. We got the light right there. You know what I mean? So he actually keeps it nice and dark in here, so he can focus and do his thing. So once again, I want to thank you for your time. You have a blessed day, and we'll stay updated.
Sounds great. Appreciate it.